Hey, good afternoon. Just wanted to jump on here real quick before you guys get started and give you a quick message of encouragement. I want you to know we're praying for you, and I wish I could be there. I am in beautiful sunny Florida, my mother-in-law's house, and just spending some time with her, and then going later on this afternoon to see my mom, and we're excited as a church for what God has in store for you, what God has in store, whether you are going into college, whether you're in college, whether you're getting ready to come out of college, whether you're out of college already and you're still trying to figure out what you're doing with your life. We're really excited for you, and I want you to know, as a church, we want to do more than just push you. We want to do more than just say go. We want to do this. We want to be able to say, how can we help you? How can we hold you up and go with you? Certainly we can't steamroll out any obstacles, but we can certainly do as much as we can. There's always going to be obstacles when we serve God. When we serve Him, the enemy is going to try to get in our way and keep us from accomplishing the task, and that comes in many different ways. But I think that what you'll see in this lineup of speakers and what they're talking about with the Lord's Prayer is the necessity of praying for missions, for the accomplishment of missions, for God's will to be made, for God's name to be made known in all the earth. And really excited for you guys as you're going to be hearing these talks. When I think of missions, I think of two quick things. Sometimes I think we have the wrong mindset. A lot of times in the Christian world, we have this thinking of, well, I'll go if the Lord sends me. I'll be obedient. God, you just have to send me, right? What if He already has? What if that's the totally wrong way to think about it? To say, well, look, Lord, I've surrendered to you. Just send me, right? What if He already has? What if the right mindset isn't, I'll go if He sends me, but I'm going to go because He already has sent me. And if He doesn't want me to go, then that's the sign I'm looking for. If He makes it a brick wall for me to go, then that's what's going to keep me here, right? What if He's already sent you? The Great Commission. Read the story of the early church in the book of Acts, and they sent people left and right. William Borden was a very rich man. You may or may not recognize the last name. I would encourage you to read the story of William Borden. Most accounts are pretty similar. William Borden had a few phrases, though, that he was pretty well known for. You might know the name Borden from the milk company Borden. Out east, they have Borden milk farms all over the place. He went to college at Yale, went to seminary at Princeton, and he went to college back in the mid-1900s. He went a very, very rich man. He was a billionaire, by all accounts. And so, like, billionaire back in the mid-1900s, 20th century, that was a lot of money. And one of the things he said, I make it my goal to always say no to self and say yes to Jesus. And when I think of that, I think of the words of Ecclesiastes. If you're familiar with Ecclesiastes, essentially, one of the key phrases in Ecclesiastes is vanity of vanity, everything is vanity. Everything is empty. Everything is purposeless. Everything is meaningless. There's no substance in it. It's like, it's smoke. It's here and then it's gone, right? He says at the end of all of his purposeless, vain, nihilistic drivel, he says this in chapter 12, verse 1. I would encourage you guys to go through this, and even to go through this chapter 12 as a group and kind of discuss. It's really interesting, the imagery that the writer of Ecclesiastes uses. But he says, remember also your Creator in the days of your youth, before the evil days come and the years draw near, of which you will say, I have no pleasure in them. So he's saying, remember your Creator in the days of your youth, right? Before the evil days come. What are those evil days? He goes on to say, before the sun and the light and the moon and the stars are darkened and the clouds return after the rain. In the day when the keepers of the house tremble. Go through, and what you can see him describing is the process of getting old. The sun isn't dimming, but our eyes dim, and so lights get a little darker, colors get a little less vibrant, our strength fails, our sex drive fails. Like literally, you can see all these things in chapter 12. It's quite comical if you think about it. Probably the last thing you guys think about right now is death. I'm not saying you should go around, but if we did go around considering more of our humanity, considering more of the fact that our youth only lasts for a little bit, we lose our strength. We try to defy aging, but we can't, right? Because it's a part of life. So what would it mean for you guys right now? Whether it's for a summer, whether it's for a year, whether it's for 2 years, to give up your strength and serve your Creator in the days of your youth. Certainly, I don't think his specific point was missions, but I think there is definitely a missions application to these words. What would it mean to say no to getting an early start on climbing the corporate ladder, getting an early start on padding the bank account, getting an early start on having kids, getting an early start on a career? What would it mean to put those things away and say, I'm going to use my strength right now when I am at my peak coming out of college? I'm going to use it for the Creator. It's becoming more and more common for ladies to go into the work field and push back having kids, right? When we were in the hospital a few years ago with Selah, a lady down the hall, she was 52 years old and she just had her first kid. She was planning on another one. Can you think about, in 18 years at 52, she's going to be sending her kid off to college when she's in her 70s. That is just ridiculous. That's crazy. So Borden said, say no to self and yes to Jesus. So what would it look like to say, you know what, I'm going to flip the script and say, God, I'm going on missions. It's not like I've surrendered. It's I am going on missions. Stop me. God, I'm going to go. You just tell me where to go. Because he's already told us to go in his word, right? William Borden's also well known for saying one other thing. In one of his letters, he had a friend that said, you're throwing your life away. And he said, no reserves, no retreats, no regrets. You know what you won't regret? You won't regret giving up a summer. You won't regret giving up a year. If some of you go this way, you won't regret giving up 2 years of your life to share the gospel that Jesus' kingdom is here And there's a way that we can be a part of that kingdom. You won't regret giving up those years. You won't come to the end of your life and be laying there talking to your grandkids or your kids and say, I should never have gone to the mission field. You're just not going to say that. I can say this. I wish I had spent a year or two after college and gone overseas to share the gospel with other people in other languages, to help missionaries, serve them, to make their job easier, to have a kingdom focus. So you guys, say no to self, say yes to Jesus, and you'll never have regrets. My prayers are that God would work as you engage in the conversation of missions, and that he would do a work in and through you and with you. Mount Valley Church stands behind you, and we long to be partnering with you. Enjoy the cross conference, and God bless.